What's going on, y'all? You are live and direct on Knocksmith TV, Knocksmith Magazine. It's your boy Miles Minnick, and we have a very special guest today. We got your girl Singular.
What's going on, folks?
How you doing today, sis?
I'm doing all right.
You doing
I'm
good?
a little hot, but I'm always a little hot.
You a little hot?
I'm a little hot.
I mean, you from Santa Rosa. It'd be hot in Santa Rosa.
Yes. You know what? The weather is like ridiculous. It's like bipolar. It doesn't know what it's like. It's hot in the day, and then it's like super cold at night, and then all of a sudden it'll be raining. Like
exactly.
It's a girl on a period.
I know how it is. My whole family from Santa Rosa, so man, I get it. That's like my second home. You see what I'm saying? But man, it's good to have you here.
It's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
I mean, your music is popping right now. You know, you're doing the dang thing. I mean, back and forth from Atlanta, you know, doing these parades. There's not too many people out here that's doing what you're doing, and you're doing it right.
I'm trying.
You're doing it right. You know, how did you even get into music? Let's rewind. How did you start?
Well, I've always been into like books and reading. When I was younger, I read a lot. When I was younger, my mom was very anti-media. Like, didn't really want the TV on. Obviously, there was no really computer access at that point. And of course, cell phones were not a thing for kids my age. So I read a lot of books, and I got into poetry and writing and stuff like that. I was in counseling from the time I was like 6. So a lot of that was, you know, writing your feelings, you know, all that little stuff. So around 9 was when I started really getting into poetry and, you know, not even necessarily rhyming, but just writing down words and expressing feelings. So that's around that age was when I started to write a lot.
That's crazy how experiences from your childhood can shape your future in terms of, you know, what you do today as your talent. You know, you said therapy, you writing out what you was feeling, now birthed into what you're doing today. That's beautiful. Who do you look up to musically?
I say this in every interview. Eminem.
That's
the GOAT. That's straight up. And he also, you know, as a female artist, and I'm gay, and I'm white as well. You know, he was, you know, a pioneer for white folks in rap, which almost, you know, made it okay. Not in the sense that it's a bad thing, but almost that he invited other artists of all, you know, races, of all creed, whatever. And I know a lot of young people felt that way. So that was dope. And also that he worked with, you know, Dre, and he worked with so many people that pioneered the game, really. And then, of course, what he talked about, which, you know, he had the Eminem, and then he had the Slim Shady.
Yep.
So, you know, and he would talk about some crazy stuff. You know, he'd talk about, you know, raping his mom and all this stuff. And I mean, a lot of people see that as, you know, what the hell is going on? But it's almost like it's expressing, you know, this part in our mind that we think is like insane. And a lot of times when we suppress those feelings, or we suppress, you know, negative energy, it comes out in other ways. So he put that into his music, and then, you know, he had some, I mean, When I'm Gone, Mockingbird, were, I mean, they speak for themselves.
Classics.
They were about his life, and he really, he came from the struggle, he came from the gutter, you know, and he worked his way up, and he, you know, he did what he needed to do. And I think that he inspired a lot of people across the board of all backgrounds.
Yeah.
For sure.
Even now, he's still like dang near the greatest to this point. You know, what do you think about his new album, The Kamikaze?
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I really haven't listened to it. I've heard little clips and stuff like that. I haven't been a fan of some of his new work. I feel like he tried too hard to.
On the last one.
Yeah, he tried too hard to make himself sound exactly what he was against when he started rapping, which was the mainstream stuff. And I feel like he, you know, maybe it was because he got sober, maybe it was because his marketing team or whatever wanted him to go a different direction. But I like old him. I like what he did.
The Slim Shady.
Yes.
A lot of people say with this new album, he brought Slim Shady back, which I would agree. I would agree, especially with that song when he dissed everybody. I know you heard that.
Yes, I did hear that one.
Did you hear MGK's response?
Yes.
What
I did.
do you think about it? He was probably cringing.
I think that he had I think he had a lot of audacity and balls to do that because
Sure.
a lot of artists wouldn't even go in that direction at all. As far as his like wordplay, I think it's good. I definitely wouldn't say it's trash, but Eminem's skill level as far as lyricism is just too high of a bracket for him to reach. So it was a very smart move on his part, as far as all the attention that it's getting. Very smart move, and a smart move for Eminem as well because it's putting them on the forefront, and they're both very lyrical artists, and that's something that needs to come back into rap is lyricism and focusing on that. So I think that it was a good move on both their parts. And I respect MGK. I don't really listen to his music that much, but
I don't think he has new music. I think that diss track was like his new music.
yes, very smart move, and
Yeah.
it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Yeah.
I listened to it a couple times. I think he has some pretty catchy lines. What he said at the very end, he said, he already slept with G-Eazy's girl. Don't make me call. He said I already slept with one rapper's girlfriend. Don't make me call Kim.
Wow.
I thought that was pretty hard. I think there was
He
there
took
was a
it
little,
there.
yeah, he did. There was a couple lines that were corny, but I think for the most part, he came pretty hard.
So, would you consider yourself a lyrical artist?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. What keeps you lyrical in this so subtle mumble rap climate? Like, what keeps you to the core of your inspiration and lyricism?
I grew up listening to lyrical rappers, so that's really where I take my inspiration from. Just to name a few other rappers that I have a lot of respect for, that I grew up listening to, that I take as my inspiration into my music. Jacka, for one, super lyrical and super spiritual.
Yeah.
In the things that he was talking about. Definitely my top 5 artists. Woody, do you know who Woody is?
I heard of Woody.
Woody, he's from Antioch. He's a northern rapper, and he passed away a while back. I loved him too, and a lot of people are like, he's gangbanging, he's this, he's that, but he touched so many subjects that because people don't give him the chance, they don't get that. I mean, he would talk about corruption in the government, almost on some Tupac stuff, which is another one of my inspirations. But I grew up listening to very lyrical rappers, so when I listen to music that's not lyrical, I get bored. And something that's happening a lot right now is that people are rapping and they're getting into music for the wrong reasons. They don't have a lot to say, so it becomes very complacent, and it just becomes boring because you're listening to 5 artists. They're all talking about the same thing. They all have the same flow. There's no individuality, and I would never want to be seen like that. Not even because I care what other people think, but because that's not who I am as an artist. So.
And I like what you do because you have this modern sound, but you have the old school aspect of remaining lyrical, right? If you could keep a relevant sound and add lyrical content on top of it, you're winning. You're winning because you're adding something that's not being added to the culture right now, which is dope.
And that's exactly what I'm going for.
Yeah.
Because you have to have something catchy. You're not going to take off if you don't have something that catches people. Period. And I learned that through my journey as a musician, as an artist, where I sort of was like, okay, well, I'm going to incorporate and I'm going to kind of go 50-50, where I'm going to get a beat that sounds mainstream or sounds really catchy, and I'm going to put a catchy hook, and then I'm just going to spit these 16 bars like nothing.
There you go.
And it's worked well for me so far. It's definitely given me a sound that nobody else can really say they have. It kind of sets me apart, which is perfect.
That's dope, sis. That's dope. Let's go ahead and switch gears a little bit. What's going on with you and Thizzler? What happened with Thizzler? I mean, I'm looking at this video. I'm like, okay, she rapping, she going. Then I see this one that said at Thizzler. Oh, she's shouting out she not shouting out. She dissing Thizzler. What's going on right here? So can you explain that for us? What prompted you to do that, and what was the result of it?
So I've always been a really controversial person. The way I look, the way I act, You know, I'm the type of person that doesn't win people over just by them seeing me. I really have to talk to people. I need to let them know who I am. And that's kind of how it's been my whole life. So what happened with Fizzler basically was I had a sit-down meeting with Matt, who's the owner of Fizzler, and a couple other people higher up. And I came in with Indecent the Slap Master, and I had basically told them, look, you know, I want to get on your platform. I want to build a relationship with you. I have no problem, you know, paying you money for your services. That's how this works. But I don't just want to be another artist that you pickpocket. I want to actually establish something with you. And they had been like, yeah, you know, whatever. So I had paid them for 2 videos. And when they dropped, there was no social media presence. I think I got like 2 tweets. There was no posts on Instagram. There was really like nothing. So I kind of felt like, you know, obviously the whole relationship building thing wasn't something on their agenda. And maybe that's because they don't think that I'm marketable, or they don't think I'm gonna make them money. But I kind of just blew it off, like whatever, you know. And then they had found out that I had a music video with Lil Slug, and Slapmaster had talked to them and they wanted the exclusive. So we gave them the exclusive for that. And then time goes on and they found out that I had an exclusive video with Nani Blanco, and they had asked for that. And Slap and I basically told them, well, you know, we want these exclusive videos with features because you like those features. You're not taking them because of me, it's because of the features. So if you want this exclusive, then we're asking if you could post one of Singular solo videos in exchange. And they said no. And I said, F you. I'm not gonna sit here and be like taken advantage of because you want my features on your site. And that was pretty much it. So I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna diss them, and I'm gonna gain some followers, and I'm gonna gain some fans. And initially, I really thought that people were gonna hate on me. I thought it was gonna be like boo, 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 and I don't think I have one negative comment on it. Mozzie's manager commented on it. Like it was, it really was like whoa for a minute.
And
I was
they
like,
rocked your business too.
Hell yeah! So I was happy, you know, and I at the same time, you know, I'm always real in what I talk about. So that was fun for me.
Yeah.
It was fun. And it definitely garnered a lot of people's attention. A lot of people hit me up like, you know, this is something that everybody feels. Thank you for saying it. Which is cool because I like to do that. I want to stand up for people like me, other independent artists. And the way that I see it is, you know, Fizzler claims to be, you know, this blog that's helping put independent artists on, but they're not. They're just DICK writing rappers that are already on, and then charging these up-and-coming artists an arm and a leg, and it just doesn't make sense, you know. And then, you know, they would have all this stuff about female artists, and they would always make sure to exclude me. And is that because I'm gay? Is that because of the way I look? Who knows? But either way, I felt like I went in there, you know, with an open heart and an open mind, and I wasn't like, oh, you know, I want you to put me on. I don't want to pay you. Absolutely, I'm gonna pay you, but I want to feel like a customer that is building a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's not how it felt at all. I felt like it was like a high and by, give me the money, sis, bye. So.
and you know what? It's crazy. A lot of blog sites operate like that, and it's sad to say, but just for you, you are an inspiring person because you're a pioneer. I see it in you. You have this leadership type personality to where you can start a whole movement if you really want to, because you're treading on waters that people are afraid to tread on, and it's working. If you just tap deeper into that, I just can't wait to see. I can't wait to see.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
And thank you for saying that, because I definitely do believe I'm knocking on doors that have not been opened to females in the game, to gay females in the game, and that's important because good music is good music.
At the end of the day.
Period. And nobody should ever sit and it's like if you're trying to get a contractor or someone to build your house, and you know they're dope at what they do, but because you don't like how they look or whatever, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna pass up on them, and it doesn't make sense. But
if they can build the house, let them build the house.
Absolutely. So that's what I want to do, and I want to inspire people to do the same, you know, because I know there's a lot of kids out there that are afraid to be who they are and say how they feel because they're afraid of judgment. But judgment is just something that is a part of this world.
Yeah.
You can choose to be blinded by it and live
Yeah.
in fear of it, or you can choose to be who you are and help other people through that, and
That's real.
within that, grow yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really important to me.
That's so good. So you're coming up right now. You're doing a lot and you're doing it right. You see what I'm saying? What advice can you give to some up and coming independent artists right now who want to do what you're doing? What would you say to them?
I would say save your money, invest your money. You know, be very careful about where you put your money into. If you really want to be successful at this, you need to invest, period. So if you want to be taken seriously, all your artwork, all your visuals, the way you present yourself, everything needs to be crisp, clean, and professional. So if you're, you know, sitting in your house and you're recording off your home mic, you're not getting it professionally mixed, and you're making these little covers off, you know, some little app on your phone, not a good look. In order to be taken seriously, you need to take yourself seriously, period.
Come on, that's so good.
Number 2, don't play into the social media games. Don't sit and make yourself look stupid on social media. That's not the way to go. You know, if you are pushing your music primarily, make your social media about that. Don't be posting about your personal life. Oh, I just got in a fight with my mom. Oh, my boyfriend hit me. Keep that stuff personal. People don't want to hear about that. And all that's really going to happen from that is it's going to come and it's going to bite you in the ass.
Wow.
You know, stick to your circle and the people that you know you can rely on. Sometimes that's only yourself. But it's more important to surround yourself with people that are like-minded. And a lot of times that consists of cutting off people that are close to you, that are basically harboring your growth. That's something that's been really hard for me in my life. I've had to let a lot of people go because they just weren't growing with me. And I led them to the door, right? What do they say about the horse? You can lead it to the water, you can't make it drink. And it's, you know, like Snoop Dogg says, it's about closing the gap and realizing who's coming with you and who's not. You can't let other people stunt your growth because they're not ready to grow.
That's real.
And so those are the main things that I would say. Stay in your lane. Don't ride other people's hypes or waves or whatever. Don't sit and count on somebody else to make you pop. Invest your money, invest your time, and don't let people influence you doing what you love. You know, people want to, you know, people that you love, people that you trust, and when you get into business, absolutely take critique, but as far as like people hating on you, you know, don't respond to that. If someone's commenting on your photo, you know, talking smack to you, you gonna look professional if you respond to them talking smack back? No.
Not at all.
So it's just getting a new sense of professionalism and running with it.
Speaking of professionalism and clapping back at people, how do you think Cardi B handled the Nicki Minaj situation?
I mean, when you get to that level, it becomes something completely different because either way, you're getting acknowledgement and attention. As far as like picking sides, you know, maybe when I'm a billionaire, I'll have more input on that. As far as those two women, they're both very successful. I mean, I don't really know what else to say about it. As far as I probably would have done the same thing. Would I have done it at a professional event when there was a lot of security around? Probably not. Because my chances of getting to that person, just like Cardi B, she got that big old bump on her head from the security.
That was a
kind of a stupid move. Now, if Nicki had said something to her, which I don't know if she did, she might have, you know, I actually think she did, then I would definitely say something. As far as trying to run up on somebody when they have a bunch of security, kind of stupid because you're not gonna get done what you came to get done.
You know, if you really wanted to fight somebody, set it up.
That's what they gotta do. I mean, like Stitches in the game's manager or whatever. Remember when Stitches was trying to do like the celebrity fights?
Yeah.
They should do something like that because it's gonna benefit them, you know. And people, it doesn't matter if people are talking about it positively or negatively. It's still garnering attention.
Absolutely.
Views are still going up.
Absolutely.
Pictures are still being liked. So that's the only thing that I see from that. Cardi B, swing on me. Like, come on. Like, I don't have security. Come on. Like, you know, let me get some of this.
So, as we begin to wrap it up today, and you are an inspirational artist, you know, your music is slapping, you're gaining a buzz right now. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hopefully I'm a millionaire. I mean, that's...
Come on.
I'd love to buy my mom a house. I would love to, you know, provide for the people that I love. I would love to travel the world without worrying about expenses. In 5 years, I want to be a better person than I am now. I want to have more growth than I do now. I want to continue to learn. I want to continue to make music.
Yeah.
I just want to be happy, and that doesn't necessarily have to do with money. It would be nice, you know, to have that kind of money. But as long as I'm still doing it for the right reasons, and as long as I still enjoy doing what I do, then that's all that matters.
You heard it here first. Millionaire in 5 years. Your girl Singular. That's it for today, yo. Where can we find you on social media?
So my main social media page is my Instagram. You can find me on there. It's Singizm, Singizm. My music is all over digital distribution. Anywhere you can download. So that means iTunes, Pandora, Spotify. And, you know, I'm not Hollywood. If you can't find links, hit me up on Instagram and I'll send them directly to you. My YouTube is, I have two. One of them is Official Singular, and the other one is Official Singular Vivo. And Singular is spelled Singular.
Once again, it's your boy Miles Minnick, Knocksmith Magazine, Knocksmith TV, and your girl Singular. That's a wrap.